Gunmen invade Wase Market in Plateau, kill 7, injure many. Senate inaugurates ad hoc committee to probe ways and means loan and CBN's anchor borrower scheme. As Ramadan fast begins, fruit traders lament low patronage in Benue. And on the foreign scene, Israel-Hamas war rages in besieged Gaza as Ramadan begins. Ramadan Kareem, welcome to Trust News Hour tonight. I am Eugenia Abu. No fewer than 7 people were shot dead while several others were injured on Sunday in Zirak community of Wase, local government area of Plateau State. The incident, according to some residents of the community, occurred on a market day when residents of the community were busy with buying and selling. Abdullahi Husseini, a youth leader in the area who confirmed the incident, said the gunmen arrived at the market around 2 o'clock in the afternoon and suddenly opened fire at people transacting business, killing 7 people instantly while many others were injured. He said the gunmen fled to the bush after the attack, adding that police personnel have deployed to the community to restore law and order. The State Police Command is yet to respond to inquiries about the attack. Earlier, we spoke to Trust TV's Ado Musa from Jos. He gave an update on the incident.
Well, according to some of the residents of the area who confirmed to me the attack, they say even though normality has been restored in the affected community after the deployment of security personnel, particularly the police personnel, there is still fear in the people because this thing happened just yesterday and people were not expecting it. So apart from those who are still mourning over the loss of those who have lost their lives, there is still fear in the people. A lot of traditional and religious leaders have been calling on people to remain calm and then assure them that they will do everything to inform other relevant authorities to at least come to their aid. So this is the situation we have in Zirak community at the moment.
Okay, so Plateau has been in the news for a lot of very career attacks in recent times. What are the security measures in place unable to curtail the excessive violence in the state?
Just like you have just said, we have a lot of criminal activities in Plateau State. If you could recall, we have a problem in the Mangu, Bokos, and Barikila, local government area. So what happened in Bokos is something that the residents of the area did not expect because they have been in peace for over a year now. Even though in 2021, 2022, the place had suffered a kind of banditry and kidnapping activities. But after a year later, they were surprised to experience this kind of attack at the moment. So most of the security personnel, according to some of the residents of the area, particularly the soldiers who were there before the recent attack, have already been redeployed to other places.
Okay, so from your previous reports, you've talked about how residents are calling for community policing. What more can you tell us about the agitations?
You mean the resident of Jos?
Yes.
Yeah, we have different opinions. Some people are agitating for the state police, while some are saying no for their own reasons. But all I know that government is also happy that if maybe at the end of the day they'll be able to agree together that yes, the issue of state police should also be considered. But a lot of people, particularly in the rural areas, are also agitating for the state police. The fact that some people have different opinions, that doesn't mean that generally people are not happy or don't want the issue of state police. So the issue of state police, I believe that a lot of people are happy with it, and they'll be happy if at the end of the day, government agree to at least come with the issue.
Trust TV's Ado Musa giving us an update on the attack on Wasi Market in Plateau State. In the meantime, the Adamawa State Police Command says it has arrested 2 suspected kidnappers who were on the wanted list of the command. The arrest, which was made on Sunday, March 10th, was made possible with the help of local hunters. The suspects were identified as Ahmed Mohammed, a 37-year-old resident of Song local government area, and Mohammed Haruna, a 25-year-old resident of Jambutu Yola North local government area. According to a statement by the command's PRO, SP Suleiman Yahaya Ngoroje, the suspects were allegedly involved in the kidnapping of Saddam Ahmadu from Belel in Maiha local government and Buba Adamu from Shani local government area of Borno State. Ngoroje stated that they collected a total ransom of 4,700,000 naira from the victims' relatives. He added that an AK-47 assault rifle with 25 rounds of live ammunition was recovered from the suspect. Hunters in Taraba State have rescued the district head of Lao Town in Ardo Kola local government of the state, Galdimat and Ladi Tau, from kidnappers. It was learned that a gang of kidnappers invaded the palace of the district head midnight Saturday and abducted the traditional ruler. However, when an alarm was raised shortly after the abduction of the traditional ruler, hunters in the town gathered themselves and trailed the kidnappers to their den, overpowered them, and rescued the traditional ruler alive, but with wounds all over his body. The kidnappers, it was gathered, launched an attack in the town shortly after the traditional ruler was rescued, but the attack was repelled by the hunters after an encounter which lasted hours, forcing the kidnappers to retreat. The kidnappers, it was learned, had made several attempts to attack the town thereafter, but hunters prevented them, a development which caused fear amongst residents of the village. Police spokesman of Taraba Police Command, SP Usman Abdullahi, confirmed the report, saying the area is now calm. The Muslim fast of the month of Ramadan marks the beginning of a period of spiritual devotion and reflection for Muslims worldwide. As Muslims embark on this journey of piety and sacrifice, they are faced with various challenges, including economic hardships and rising temperatures. Noel Sampson takes a look at how residents of the Federal Capital Territory are navigating these challenges during this year's fasting period.
According to this Muslim faithful, the economic situation in the country is dire, making it particularly challenging to cope during this fasting period. Many express struggles with their businesses, which have been adversely affected by the economic downturn. Additionally, the rising temperatures further exacerbate the difficulties they face during this sacred period. We thank God, but it is not easy. We get job, but cost of living has increased. Government has been making promises, but we are here to see any improvement. Before, you can buy food comfortably with 500 naira, but now it is not possible. With the Ramadan fast, we are praying that God will help us. We are not making gains now. People are in a very difficult situation. As you can see, we have come out in this harsh weather to look for food. The hardship we are currently facing is man-made. We need our leaders to set up and improve the situation of the common man. Previous governments have made promises, but still no improvement. We are always out in the sun just to put food on the table. The situation is so bad, but we cannot avoid coming out if we want to eat. We are just praying that God will bring an end to this suffering soon.
The business is too low because of people they are not have money for hand because of the price is too much for us. When we go market, the price is too high. When we come to people, the price they are not buy it. And that we are manage it.
However, the resident imam of Nasfat Mosque, Abuja, emphasized that despite the economic hardship and harsh weather conditions, Muslims faithful remain steadfast in the observance of fasting and attendance at the mosques.
It's a commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to fast. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who legislated fasting, who made it a compulsory, would definitely make it easy for the Muslims to fast during the month of Ramadan. It's not that easy, but any act of worship, anything called act of worship, Allah knows the way he knows how to make it easy for people.
Ramadan transcends mere abstinence from food. It is a time for purifying the soul and nourishing the spirit. Muslims faithful are encouraged to embrace fasting as a means of spiritual growth and renewal. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Still talking about the commencement of the Ramadan fast this Monday. And as you already heard, Muslim faithful in Nigeria are fasting under an economic meltdown and harsh weather conditions in Nigeria. Against this backdrop, Muslim leaders have emphasized the need to imbibe the spirit of compassion by supporting the poor in line with the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Hamid Oyegbade files this report.
The only month of Ramadan in the Islamic lunar calendar 1445 begins on Monday, March 11, 2024 with the sighting of the moon on Sunday evening. In Nigeria, fasting Muslims would have to endure the current harsh weather condition and the economic hardship in the country.
Global warming has created a very difficult harsh condition across the world, and this will have a snowball effect on the fasting Muslims. Therefore, scholars need to educate the people on the type of food they have to take during this weather condition, so that they will have enough food to stay hydrated.
Everybody, including the rich and the have-not, everybody is complaining, everybody is shouting. But my belief is that through the mercy of Allah, God will make things easy for us.
Muslim leaders in Osun State called on faithful to imbibe the spirit of compassion by supporting the needy.
We want to appeal to government to do everything humanly possible that they promise us to change the narrative. Their policies must be one that they guarantee security, that we make sure that people have health, and also to have education.
Today, as the first day of Ramadan, things are hard, things are tough for everybody, for Muslims and non-Muslims in the country. But for the fact that Allah is in control, we should base all our faith on Allah.
We all want Muslims to recite the Quran, Qiyam al-Layli, that is standing in the middle of the night to observe the wafin, in order to see the play of Almighty Allah.
Ramadan fasting is the fourth pillar of Islam, and it is mandatory for Muslims to fast for 30 days or 29 days during this month. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
As Muslims commence the month of Ramadan, prices of fruits have continued to surge in Kano State. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that traders have attributed the price increase to the high cost of transportation occasioned by petrol subsidy removal. Here's that report.
Inside El Lemu market in Kano, varieties of fruits waiting to be transported to other parts of Kano State. But this year, unlike the previous years, traders say the price has more than doubled for obvious reasons.
Yanzu farashin su 100% ya karu.
The price this year has more than doubled because, like any other commodities, our own also is too expensive. One, it is scarce, and then another thing is because we have to pay a lot of money to transport this fruit to this market. High cost of transportation triggered by the petrol subsidy removal are some of the major reasons why the price keeps increasing almost on daily basis.
You
see, on daily basis, the price of fruit is also increasing like all other commodities. You know why? Because we are carrying this, like for orange, for example, we are carrying it from Benue to Kano here. Now look at the transport. The transport has tripled compared to what we used to pay last year. So we have to increase the price as well. But according to the Nigerian Fruit Sellers Association in Kano, the failure of governments to bring to an end the current high cost of living across the country also affected fruits and other essential commodities. You see, because government has failed to address the major problems of our people. like the issue of high cost of living, the issue of this petrol subsidy that increases the cost of transportation. All these reasons have come together to also complicate the price of fruit this year. And that is why, and the fruit are scarce. This is why people will have to buy it at a higher price. While Muslims continue to fast in the month of Ramadan, many residents are hopeful that fruits and other essential commodities consumed during this important period will be made affordable for the ordinary people across the country. Idris Jubrain, Trust TV News, Kano.
And the usual turnout of traders and customers at the popular Makudi Fruits Market, also called Railway Market, recorded low turnout as the Ramadan fast began Monday. Trust TV's Jimmy Azande, who visited the market, reports that this is unlike other years when patronage peaked. Here's that report.
In previous editions of the fast day usually sees a crowd of residents, especially from the Muslim community, coming out to buy fruits for the season. But this year, the market remains a ghost of its past, owing to the economic hardships in the country. Traders at the market say, with the perishable nature of the fruits, it is a discouraging moment for them.
For the prices of the things that we're selling, it's not like before again. You're able to buy something. Like this apple, we buy the carton now, 55,000. We use 10 naira sell for customer instead of us to use and to stay at home. And before, we are buying carton of apple 25,000, 26 or 30 highest, but now it's 55,000.
As a perishable, we don't have anything to preserve it, to keep it away from getting rotten. So we'll bring it. Sometimes we are forced to even sell it lower than the price we buy, because if you have to keep it, you are refusing to collect the money people are paying you. You have to throw it away. Like for instance, look at this ones, I've thrown them away because no one have agreed to buy at the price because of the high transport. The money we used to pay for transport is too much compared to before.
The cost of the fruits occasioned by the rise in transport fares and inflation, they say, has kept many customers away from the market, adding that the multiplier effect on the families is traumatic.
You see, everywhere is empty. So we are pleaded. Let federal government look what they are going to do and bring the price of fuel down. Make poor people they see something to eat. Because this small ready way we are doing here. Now here you will see poor people they get something to eat. But because of this fuel issue, people are dying every day.
The Muslim faithful say fruits play a critical role in the Ramadan season. However, this year's season comes with challenges occasioned by the economic downturn in the country.
The reason why people no come out from market buy something. Sometimes people they complain about money. Not like this man, maybe rainy season, the family on the heart. If because of this fasting will start today, 9 people more customer. If not, last 2 weeks, if you come my day, man, no go see anything for ground. Government help us, then look us because of we where they manage the money where they manage. We don't finish with that. We make it now.
Although the government said it is distributing palliatives to cushion the effect of subsidy removal, many residents say they are yet to receive anything. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
The Nigerian Senate has inaugurated an ad hoc committee to probe the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari over the 30 trillion naira ways and means advances from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, which was approved by the 9th National Assembly. According to the National Assembly, the ways and means advances is a pathway through which the current economic hardship came to be, necessitating its probe. Here's that report.
Inaugurating the committee on Monday in Abuja, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, noted that unraveling the mystery behind the advances remains key in understanding the country's present predicament.
As it is charged with the investigation of the ways and means of about 30 trillion, including the expenses or otherwise, utilization, success, or failures of the Anchor Borrowers Program. To the members of this esteemed committee, I implore you to approach your responsibilities with the utmost sense of patriotism, professionalism, and integrity.
According to Akpabio, the success of the investigative panel hinges on collaboration, cooperation, and steadfast commitment for the benefit of Nigerians. He charged the committee to leave no stone unturned in the pursuit of the truth about 30 trillion naira ways and means loans advances. The event, which took place at the National Assembly complex, had in attendance Deputy Senate President Senator Barrow Jibrin, other senators, Minister of Finance and Coordination, Minister of Economy Wale Edun, Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria Yemi Cardoso, and Minister Budget and Economic Planning Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, among others. Responding, the chairman of the 17-member committee, Isa Jibrin, assured that the probe will be carried out with precision and pursued to a logical conclusion.
Various discussions. The ways and means and the Anchor Borrower schemes have aroused various forms of discussions amongst individuals and groups, with groups and individuals giving their opinions and interpretations. Your Excellency, the implication of this is that Nigerians are waiting for the result of this investigation. I want to assure you that we are going to carry out this assignment expeditiously, but without any form of compromise.
The ad hoc committee has 6 weeks to investigate the 30 trillion naira ways and means advances, as well as the 10 trillion naira expended on the Anchor Borrowers Program, among other intervention programs.
The alleged budget padding by the Senate and its supposed implementation by the President Bola Tinubu administration seems to be causing a huge division in the nation's upper legislative chamber. Senator Abdul Ningi, who represents Bauchi Central, told reporters on Monday that the interview he granted BBC House of Service prompted the argument of whether the government is implementing the 28.7 trillion naira budget as passed or 25 trillion naira as reported. Ningi, however, maintained that he did not say that the President Bola Tinubu-led administration was operating two budgets. Not long after Senator Ningi left the podium, his Ondo South counterpart, Jimo Ibrahim, mounted the podium and called on the federal government and the police to charge Ningi with misinformation, insisting that the claims by the Bauchi Central senator were worrisome, totally untrue, divisive, and amounts to criminal misinformation. The presidency had on Sunday, via a statement by a special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the senators claim that the National Assembly passed 25 trillion naira as the 2024 budget is false, adding that 28.7 trillion naira was passed and signed into law by President Bola Tinubu.
In the course of our perusing the budget, which Onanuga seems to have dwelt on, I say we have established beyond reasonable doubt about 25 trillion so far has nexus in the budget. That means there is money, and then there is project, and then there is location. Money, project, location. But we are yet to ascertain 3 trillion of that budget. I have decided, as a senator representing the good people of Ondo South, to ask the Inspector General of Police and the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, charge the two Senator Nigi for misinformation, criminal misinformation, of course, and conduct likely going to cause the breach of peace.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, commemoration in full swing as Nigeria joins counterparts in marking Commonwealth Day. More news when we return. Do stay. Thank you for rejoining us. This is News Hour on Trust TV. Another look at our top stories. Gunmen invade Wasi Market in Plateau, kill 7, injure many. Senate inaugurates ad hoc committee to probe Ways and Means loan, CBN's anchor borrower scheme. Moving on now, as Ramadan unfolds, Muslims in Nigeria are navigating a delicate balance between sponsoring religious programs on media platforms and fulfilling their duty to support the needy amid Nigeria's escalating cost of living crisis. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail engages with Muslims, media stations, and Islamic clerics to explore the significance of broadcasting religious programs on media platforms while emphasizing the importance of charitable acts to those in need. Here's that report.
The recitation of the Holy Quran and Tafsir holds significant rewards, particularly during the month of Ramadan. Likewise, providing sustenance to the needy is highly esteemed in Islam, carrying its own special rewards. However, with the current surge in food prices across the country, a debate has emerged regarding the allocation of funds designated for Islamic programs on radio and television during Ramadan. Some argue for redirecting these funds towards the distribution of food materials to the needy. Residents of Abuja interviewed by Trust TV expressed varying perspectives on this issue, reflecting the complexity of balancing religious obligations with the pressing needs of the community.
With
your smartphone, either at home, office or shop, anywhere you are, you can listen to Islamic programs. I don't support the motion of halting sponsorship of religious programs because of sharing foods to the people.
Sudan, listening to the Malan, what the Malan was talk is good to sit down and read. Only sit down and read Quran. You understand, ba? To sit for months and read Al-Quran. God reward you for that one.
While most of the respondents believe sponsorship of religious programs on media platforms are important, others emphasize the need to feed the needy to cushion the effects of the current cost of living crisis in the country.
If people are hungry, it will be difficult for them to even understand the concept of the Islam. So instead of rich men to use the money they have, billions or millions of naira, in going into radio and television to propagate Islam. I'm not saying they should not do that, but they should use maybe greater percentage of that money to feed those masses.
Sponsorship of tafsir in the media is very important. There is a lot of reward for that. But the masses should be considered and be supported with food. Both the two are good. Broadcast stations who earn a lot of revenue from the sponsorship of religious programs say they also contribute their income to support families through payments of salaries to their staff who are members of the society.
Sponsoring tafsirs at media stations goes a long way because you're not just paying the station, but you're paying the staff of the station. Because if the station is paid, the staff of the station gets to eat.
Beyond the media debate surrounding the sponsorship of Islamic programs or channeling the money to support the needy, Islamic clerics say both are two sides of the same coin.
If you can do the two, it's better. It is about feeding. When you feed somebody, you are feeding him physically. But when you educate him and enlighten him, then you are feeding his soul.
Based on the insight provided by Islamic cleric Sheikh Nuru Khalid and the recent viewpoints of respondents, it becomes evident that by embracing this middle ground, it is possible to uphold both the principle of Islamic charity and the dissemination of religious knowledge via mass media channels. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The federal government has directed the Nigeria Customs Service to ensure ease of doing business along land borders across the country with a view to addressing the current food crisis. This was announced by the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, during his visit to Kongolom border community in Katsina State. Abdullahi Amadi tells us more.
Addressing concerns over food insecurity facing many Nigerians, Adeniyi said the federal government has, among other measures, directed the service to release food items and other seized commodities across the borders to the people. The customs boss also asked business communities in Katsina and other northwestern states to take advantage of this opener in addressing hunger and hike in the prices of food as well as other essential commodities facing the nation. However, seeks the cooperation of residents, business community and other security agencies in Katsina to enable the good intentions of the government work effectively and efficiently.
I've given them very firm assurance that if they continue to remain peaceful this way, if they see themselves as agents of peace, of economic development and security, we will very soon kickstart the process that will lead to the reopening of those borders that are closed.
With this, the Comptroller General also directed the removal of all customs checkpoints along various roads leading to and from border communities to achieve the desired objective, assuring that men and officers of the service will continue to diligently man border posts. Traders and other stakeholders expressed appreciation for the new development, assuring commitments in working closely with the service and other security agencies in fine-tuning businesses across the region.
Because we are Nigerians, if we are to say that we are bona fide citizens and we have duty to cooperate with them to ensure law and order, then we should not cooperate with anybody that is smuggling. But we believe that those people were not smuggling anything. And what they were moving with were local commodities.
We really very much want these borders to open. It's going to provide so many jobs and there will be a lot of business to us. Not just only that, we want the Nigerian government to approve imports through the inland borders.
Adeniyi also paid a visit to the former Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari and the Emir of Daura Faruk Umar, where he briefed them about the new policy aimed at rejuvenating the nation's economy. Border communities in Katsina State have suffered serious setback as foods and other essential commodities were restricted from reaching them over the last 8.5 years, a situation that caused a lot of economic dislocations. Observers are saying the long-awaited commitment is coming too little too late, as uncontrolled inflation and continuous devaluation of the naira may hinder government's intention of achieving the purpose it was meant for. Abdullahi Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union have declared a 7-day warning strike beginning March 18, 2024 to demand the payment of 4 months of their members' withheld salaries after the 2022 nationwide strike. The decision was part of the resolution of the Joint Action Committee of the two unions after a meeting which held in Akure over the weekend. According to the SANU president, Muhammad Ibrahim, who read the communique of the meeting to journalists in Abuja on Monday, the decision to embark on the warning strike was taken as a last resort since several protest letters and other communications with the federal government did not result in the payment of the withheld salaries. According to the statement, if nothing is done by the federal government to positively address the situation and respond to previous letters, the members of the two unions may be forced to meet soon to take all lawful and stringent decisions on the matter. The Lagos state government has embarked on the demolition of structures and shanties built around Jakonde Estate and Mayegun, Lekki. The State Commissioner of Works and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, disclosed this on Monday in Lagos. He stated that the enforcement is geared towards reclaiming the coastal road alignment for the Lagos-Calabar Highway project of the federal government and the urban regeneration of the area. And from Lagos, we go to Borno State, where the State Police Command has donated food palliatives to the Police Wives Association and Late Police Wives Association in commemoration of the 2024 International Women's Day. The State Commissioner of Police, Yusuf Mohammed, while flagging off the distribution, highlighted the critical role women play in various sectors, including food security, and urged them to prioritize their children's education. He noted that the support is a reminder for the police force to prioritize the well-being of women while combating crime. The chairperson of the POA chapter, Zara Umar, said the gesture aims to improve the welfare of the police wives and widows. She acknowledged that the decade-long insurgency in Borno has hampered POA's activities due to security concerns targeting police personnel.
The Borno State Command, due to the insurgency for decades, it has affected the participation of POA in the command, and due to the insecurity challenges, the police, these uniformed men are the target of the Boko Haram. So for that reason, it has halted and hindered the POA's activities in the command for over a decade. So we are reforming and reviving our activities.
When we are talking of food security cannot be attained without women's enormous contribution to agriculture. But I don't know where we lost the track. We decided, either because of some cultural inhibition, some parochial thinking, some traditional practices, we tried to put the women at the background. But today, the world is wiser.
As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate the 2024 Commonwealth Day, the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, has emphasized the importance of collective effort for a brighter future in the education sector. Habiba Tajai has more to that story.
Every year, on the second Monday of March, 56 countries across the world come together to celebrate the Commonwealth Day. This organization serves as a political association comprising 56 member states with a shared history as former colonies of the British Empire. Minister Tahir Mamman highlights the challenges faced in the education sector that Commonwealth members have to collectively address.
In the education sector, we must commit ourselves to the ideals of the Commonwealth, which is unity, diversity, and shared prosperity. Together, we have the power to shape a future where every citizen has the opportunity to thrive and contribute to our Commonwealth.
Nigerians says they recognize the relevance of the Commonwealth to the country's development.
Commonwealth has brought prosperity, democratic values, and peace to an extent to Nigeria.
Of course, Commonwealth is also one of its value is to entrench democracy among member countries. So it does everything possible to ensure that democracy is stable in all its member countries.
As the nation reflects on the challenges and opportunities ahead as members of the Commonwealth, member states are counting on their strength in their partnership in order to flourish. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja. Trade, stocks and business. Time now to join Yusuf Akogu
for an update on business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogo. It's good to be back indeed. Moving on now, Nigeria's trade surplus shrank by 99.7% last year as imports surged to the highest in 16 years. A report by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, shows that the Africa's most populous nation recorded a positive trade balance of 2.9 trillion in 2023 for the second straight year, down from 1.21 trillion in the previous year. Nigeria, however, recorded a trade deficit of 1.4 trillion naira in the fourth quarter for the first time since Q1 last year. A trade surplus, also known as positive balance of trade, occurs when the country's exports exceed its imports. Saudi Arabia majority state-owned firm Saudi Aramco is paying shareholders $97.8 billion in dividends in 2023, an amount higher than the size of Nigeria's $34 billion 2024 budget. Analysts say this is an indication of how a well-run oil company can provide a dollar supply to an economy. The $97.8 billion in dividends in 2023 is an increase of 30% from 2022. The payout remains the most important source of revenue for the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who wants to use oil profit to fund an ambitious program to modernize the kingdom and diversify the economy. Bitcoin hit a record above $71,000 on Monday as demand for the cryptocurrency picks up amidst optimism that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates this year. The unit hit a peak of 71,432 in the afternoon Asian business. According to Bloomberg data, it has advanced almost 70% this year. Now to food commodities now. Prices of key staples in Nigeria are fast getting out of the reach for most households as prices of grains have surged 98.47% in 1 year alone. Let's see how the prices are looking like in most markets across Nigeria. In Lagos, a bag of rice, talking about 50 kg at my 12 market, is going for 87,000 naira. That is huge, you would say. At a Bodija market in Ibadan, Oyo State, Oloyin beans is being sold for 75,000 naira for a 50 kg bag. And of course, Gari, one of the staple food in Nigeria, mostly consumed by those in the southern part of the country, is going for 45,000 naira at Igbudu market in Delta State. That's for the 50 kg bag indeed for a price there. Of course, sugar, Dangote sugar there, 50 kg at Dawa Now market in Kano State is being sold for 80,000 naira for 50 kg bag. Looking at maize now, there at Mubi market in Adamawa State, 50 kg of yellow beans is going for 50,000 naira indeed. Probably 10,000 naira per 10 kg, maybe, most likely. Millet there at a Mango market. Mango is in Plateau State. A 50 kg of millet is actually going for 32,150 naira. That is from commodity market. We move straight to the equities market, and of course, it closed in green on Monday, following positive investor sentiment across major counters. Of course, we look at how it went down today. We look at NEM Insurance. NEM Insurance recorded a huge 10% gain at the close of market today. Honey Flower coming second there, also gaining 10% as well to close at 3 naira 74 kobo per share. Of course, Dangote Sugar, one of the key drivers of today's gain by the market, gaining 9.97%, close at 61 naira and 20 kobo per share. And of course, this has moved the market up by 0.7%. You will see a marginal gain, but of course, over 700 basis points were added to the all-share index. All-share index as it climbed back to 102,444.84 basis points there. Looking at the volume of trade, 436.896 million shares there, value at 17.099 billion naira, and of course in terms of deals, 11,344 did exchange hands among investors today. Of course, the top trading equities are also some of the highly capitalized equities there. We have a JITCO doing 6.630 million shares, Transcorp some 3.86 million shares, and of course Access Corporation for 8.089 million shares. It also traded on today. Of course, we have some equities that did not do well on the floor today. We have the like of Prestige, an insurance company, down 10%. Lasaco, also from the insurance subsector of the market, down 9.83%, and of course RT Briscoe also down 8.16%. So these are the highlights of the stock trading as it went down this Monday on the floor of the Nigerian stock market. Let's look at the stock market from the rest of the world. Oil price erased earlier declines as traders wait to see if a week of key data inputs can break the market from its present decrease. Oil is coming off its least volatile week since late 2021 as the market jungles competing bullish and bearish factors. At the London market, oil merchants pay $81 for a barrel of Brent crude. For the OPEC basket, price increases to $83 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogo.
Thank you, Yusuf, for bringing us up to date. And on the foreign scene, deadly fighting continues in Gaza between Israeli forces and Hamas militants with no truce in sight as the Muslim holy month of Ramadan began amid a dire humanitarian crisis in the besieged Palestinian territory. The Muslim holy month of Ramadan began Monday in much of the world, ending hopes for a new ceasefire by the start of the holy month after a latest round of truce talks in Cairo stalled. A ship belonging to Spanish aid group Open Arms containing 200 tons of food is still waiting to set sail from Cyprus to the Gaza Strip. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday rejected U.S. President Joe Biden's assessment that his approach to the conflict is hurting Israel more than helping. Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said Monday that authorities would respect freedom of worship during Ramadan, but were ready for anyone who might try us. His comments came amid concerns about tensions during Ramadan at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, a flashpoint for violence during the Muslim fasting month in past years. Hundreds of Palestinians attended prayers at a major Jerusalem holy site on the first day of the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. U.S., Canadian, French, and Caribbean envoys on Monday met in Jamaica to address the spiraling instability in Haiti, where gang violence has crippled the capital and forced foreign diplomats to evacuate over the weekend. Armed groups, which already control much of Port-au-Prince, as well as roads leading to the rest of the country, have unleashed havoc in recent days as they try to oust Prime Minister Ariel Henry. In power since the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moise, Henry had been visiting Kenya in search of support for a UN-backed security support mission when the latest burst of violence broke out. Unable to return to Haiti last week, he instead landed in the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico, where he remained on Monday, according to a U.S. official. The current chairman of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, and Guyanese President Mohamed Irfan Ali said talks to bring stability and normalcy to Haiti were ongoing, but added that Haitian stakeholders are not where they need to be. Time now for some sports news with Emmanuel Fashemi.
Despite earning his first call-up to the Super Eagles, Luton Town FC defender Gabriel Osho is set to miss the double-header friendlies. The Lankin centre-back was among the newly invited players for the international friendly match against the Black Stars of Ghana and Eagles of Mali. Osho, who was subbed off in last weekend's Premier League match against Crystal Palace due to injury, with the team coach Rob Edwards saying he remains doubtful for the club's next match. The race is on for African clubs to secure the remaining places at the FIFA News 32-team Club World Cup tournament, the Mondial de Clubs FIFA, which makes its debut in the United States in 2025. Two of the continent's 4 qualification spots have already been claimed by recent CAF Champions League winners Al Ahly of Egypt and Morocco's Wydad Casablanca. Al Ahly booked their ticket by winning the 2022-2023 editions of Africa's Premier Club competition. Wydad, meanwhile, qualified after their 2021-2022 Champions League triumph under the tutelage of history-making coach Walid Regragui. In the 20-team list of clubs that have qualified for the competition in the United States of America, FIFA confirmed the 2 African teams Al Ahly and Wydad, with remaining 12 slots to be filled at the end of the season. The 2 remaining African berths will go to the winners of the current 2023-2024 Champions League campaign and the highest-ranked side based on FIFA clubs' coefficient rankings. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns and Esperance of Tunisia are the only 2 clubs still in contention to claim that ranking spot, should Al Ahly or Wydad win this season CAF Champions League, but they will have to wait to see who lifts the CAF Champions League trophy, with Al Ahly and Wydad both safely through to the quarterfinals once again. Whatever happens, African football can look forward to a strong quartet of representatives at the inaugural Mondial de Clubs FIFA in just over a year's time. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashime.
And on that note, on the fast-paced note of sports across the world, brought by Emmanuel Fashimi, we come to the end of News Hour Tonight on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. On behalf of the entire team, I am Eugenia Abu. We thank you for watching.